Hello students, I'm Assistant Professor Khandizut from KJ's College, the Department of English. I welcome you all, the newcomer for PG students. It is MA First English. So it is a credit and semester system. And today we are going to see about our syllabus, subjects and question paper format. It is our first lecture and we are going to introduce a subject and we'll go through the details and its evaluation pattern. It is MA First, specialization in English. It is pattern 2019. A college, KJ Somaya Senior College, has chosen subjects for MA First for English syllabus. There are 2 semesters in a part first. Okay, so it is 50-50 pattern. The semester first there are 4 subjects and for semester second there are 4 subjects also. So in a semester first there is a first paper, that is 1.1. It is English literature from 1550 to 1798. It is our first paper in semester first. Okay. Then paper number 2, that is 1.2. It is English literature from 1798 to the present. So it is a second paper. Then the third paper is 1.3, which is contemporary studies in English language. Then the last paper, it is 1.4, which is literary criticism and theory. So the same papers are in second semester, but the syllabus is changed. In the second semester, paper number first, that is 2.1, the papers names are same, but the content and the syllabus is changed. English literature from 1550 to 1798. The names are same, okay, but the content is changed. Then paper number 2.2, it is English literature from 1798 to the present. Then paper number 3 in semester 2, that is 2.3, contemporary studies in English language, and paper number 4, that is 2.4, literary criticism and theory. So we are going to see the syllabus of semester first, MA part first English. The first paper is 1.1, English literature from 1550 to 1798. It is our first paper. There are 4 units in first paper 1.1. The first unit, which Sir Philip Sidney, whose literature, that lyric from Astrophel and Stella, which is Come sleep, O sleep, the certain knot of peace. It is a lyric of Sir Philip Sidney. Edmund Spenser, the Amity, yet dreadful merchants that with weary toil. Then the second poet, Sir Walter Raleigh, whose poem The Lie. Then the next poet, Robert Herrick, whose poem is Delight in Disorder. It is the first unit. Then the second unit, the poems are in the second unit, John Donne, The Sun Rising, Batter My Heart, Three Persons God. Then the next poet, Andrew Marvell, whose poem on Mr. Milton's Paradise Lost. It is his poem. Then George Herbert, his 2 poems are there. The first, it is Death, and the second, The Caller. Then Edmund Waller, whose poem Go Lovely Rose. Then unit number 3, Christopher Marlowe, whose Edward II. And unit number 4, William Shakespeare's play, it is The Tempest. Then paper number 2 in semester first, it is 1.2 English literature from 1798 to the present. It is a second paper in which its syllabus unit number 1, in which S.T. Coleridge, whose poems Frost at Night and Dejection an Ode. The second poet William Wordsworth, whose poem Resolution and Independence. Then unit number 2, P.B. Shelley, whose poem England in 1819. Then John Keats, the two poems are there, Ode on a Grecian Urn and On First Looking into Chapman's Homer. Then the next poet, Felicia Hemans, whose poem The Bird's Release. Then the third unit, Mary Shelley, that literature Frankenstein. Then unit number 4, in which Jane Austen, the literature Persuasion. Then the next paper, it is paper number 3, paper number 2.3, sorry. Paper number 1.3, which name is Contemporary Studies in English Language. In 1.3, Contemporary Studies in English Language, in which unit number 1st, Introduction to Linguistics and Contemporary Theories, Views of Language, where there are some theories regarding language by some grammatists. The first one, that is introduction about what is linguistics, major branches of linguistics, for example, psycholinguistics, sociolinguistics, computational linguistics, historical linguistics, linguistics in the 20th century. Then the second, Ferdinand de Saussure, structuralist view of grammar, whose synchronic and diachronic studies in our third paper, Lang and Pearl. Then syntagmatic and predicamatic relations, then IC analysis. Then third, Chomsky's theory of transformational generative grammar, whose views about language acquisition, the cognitive approach, competence and performance, the concepts of kernel and non-kernel sentences. Then the fourth theory, Delphin's concept of communicative competence. Then the second unit, phonology, the phonemes of English, description and classification, the syllable, structure and types, syllabic consonants, word stress, degrees of stress, stress shift, grammatical stresses, sentence stress, use of weak and strong forms, tone groups, the concept of nucleus, types of nucleus and placed and contrastive, tonic accent, pretonic accent, posttonic accent. Then intonation patterns, uses of tones, grammatical, attitudinal and accentual functions of intonation. It is about phonology. Then the third unit about morphology, structure of words, the concept of morpheme and allomorph, types of morpheme, for example, free, bound, prefixes, suffixes, class changing, class maintaining, inflectional, derivational, general principles of lexicography. Then some word formation process, reduplication, clipping, blending. Then morphophonemic changes, phonological and morphological conditioning. Then problems of morphological analysis. It is about morphology. The third unit is regarding morphology, and the last unit is syntax, in which the first content sentences and then parts, then words. Then are the last paper 1.4, literary criticism and theory, in which also there are 4 units. In first unit, it is regarding classical criticism. There are 2 theories. The first one, it is Aristotle Poetics, chapter number 6 to 10. Then the second, the theory of rasa, S.N. Dasgupta. Then the second unit, neoclassical criticism, in which Afra Ben, whose preface to the Lucky Chance, and Samuel Johnson's preface to Shakespeare. The third unit, romanticism and Victorian criticism, in which there are 3 theories. The first one, S.T. Coleridge, Biographia Literaria, chapter number 13 and 14. Then Mary Wollstonecraft, whose Vindication of the Rights of Women, chapter number 2. Then the last theory, Matthew Arnold, the study of poetry. The last unit, modernism and new criticism. The first theory, T.S. Eliot, the function of criticism, and the last theory, Clint Brooks, the language of paradox.